These are the crazy scenes that occurred yesterday in Epping. There was a peaceful protest at the Bell Hotel, one of the residents of which, an asylum seeker who'd come across on a boat just a few days earlier, was charged after allegedly sexually assaulting a young schoolgirl. The residents were understandably furious, and you had residents coming out for a peaceful protest. Let's take a look at how it all started. Peaceful protesters out there shouting "protect our kids," all very civilized, and then a bunch of Antifa thugs decided to rock up, and that's when the chaos started. And then you had the youths, the teenagers of Epping, deciding to come out and counter those Antifa thugs, and then it started to get a bit ugly. It all started off very lovely, and it's a shame that in the end, it ended up with the riot police there. I don't think it ended up being too crazy. It looks like there had just been 2 arrests made, but quite chaotic scenes. And it just shows, the number of people who came out to peacefully protest, so many residents in the town, just how much people care about the safety of their children. People want their kids to be able to walk to school safely without suffering this kind of abuse that this asylum seeker allegedly was involved in. So we've got a lot of people who went out with these signs saying "protect our kids," another big flag there. And let's just take a look at the statement that has been put out by the police in Epping, and they have been clear that it was indeed a peaceful protest. This was not some sort of planned riot, and I say that very clearly because Adam Brooks, who's been involved in this, you may have seen him on GB News with me, he's a good mate of mine. He has been involved with the peaceful protest. A few idiots turn up and turn it into something a bit more violent, and he gets the blame for it, when absolutely that was not the case. It was a very nice peaceful protest, and you had a few idiots turn up, and if it weren't for the Antifa thugs deciding to turn up, things probably would have stayed peaceful. So Adam was just trying to get local residents to have their voices heard, and that they want this hotel to be shut down. And now the local MP is saying, after that peaceful protest, that he is demanding that hotel be shut down. So I think despite the problems that there have been with the riot police having to go down because of a few idiots, they have achieved their aim. Well, of course, the hotel hasn't been shut down yet, but it's looking like it might be. There's a heck of a lot of pressure on the Home Office after this. But anyway, this is the police statement that has been put out. So the police say that on the 17th of July, a number of local Epping residents carried out what was an initial peaceful protest outside the Bell Hotel in Epping High Road. These residents were peacefully and legitimately protesting. This follows a recent alleged incident involving a resident of the hotel who was swiftly arrested, charged and remanded. The criminal investigation remains live and ongoing through the court system. After carrying out their peaceful protests, members of the Epping community largely dissipated. However, a number of individuals arrived at the scene intent on causing trouble. In the violence that followed, officers faced extreme hostility from a large number of individuals. These individuals threw missiles at officers and the hotel, smashed police vans and vehicles, caused damage to the hotel, injured one officer, prevented local residents from being able to use Epping High Road. A total of 8 officers were assaulted and suffered a range of minor injuries. Several suspects who caused trouble have been identified, and we are now seeking to arrest them. So yeah, all started off very peacefully and then ended up, very sadly, with officers who are just trying to do their jobs there getting injured, which shouldn't have been the case, but sadly this is sometimes what happens. Now let's take a look at what Adam had to say and show us at the end of the night, just before he went home.
In all my years, I never thought we would see something like this in Epping. Look, there are literally dozens, maybe even 100
tons of officers
in front of this hotel. Obviously a hotel marred in controversy, and a hotel that has been linked to many incidents in this town over the last few years, and especially last week. It started off as a peaceful protest, but then when the so-called anti-racist or anti-fascists turn up, Epping turned into violent disorder. I'm now being told that the police, the chief of police that is in charge here has issued a 10:30 dispersal order, meaning that anyone here after 10:30 can be arrested. Let's see if the locals decide to listen to that order. This is absolutely crazy.
Not something you expect to see in Epping, which is a pretty civilized place. Now, the controversy that has come after these events doesn't just lie with the members of the public who decided to cause trouble, but with the police as well, because there were several things that happened that were caught on camera that have proven to be quite controversial for the police. So this clip here is the first one, where the police, they go through this crowd, bash over those fences, and then look at this. That guy gets run into at a very high pace. I understand that police need to speed up when they're in a rush to get somewhere, but there were clearly lots of individuals on the road, and they nearly killed a man there. Look at that. So that has caused them a lot of controversy. This next video has also caused them some controversy. So that guy there, that's his tooth has apparently been knocked out by that police officer. Now, admittedly, you can see at the start of that, this guy is going up, squaring up in front of that policeman, potentially about to, you know, try and cause trouble, throw a punch or whatever. And the policeman has decided to defend himself because this guy was getting in his space. But he has knocked the guy's tooth out. So let me know what you think of that. I think, personally, I think this is a bit of an honest mistake. I think the police officer probably had a right to push back against this guy, and it just so happened to accidentally hit his tooth. I'm sure that's not what the police officer intended to happen. Also, it's being alleged that the by certain witnesses that the police officers took the Antifa thugs from the station and gave them all a lift in their riot police vans up to the hotel. And if that is the case, it is absolutely saying something absolutely crazy. But as I said before, this is something that it started off very, very peacefully, and a few idiots decided to ruin the day. But nevertheless, I think that a big, strong message has still been sent out there to the Home Office that this hotel is not welcome. The MP, as I said, has spoken out, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this hotel will be shut down. There are schools in the local area. As I said, this guy from the hotel, has allegedly sexual assaulted a schoolgirl, which I'm sure, not just an older woman, which would be bad enough as it is, but a schoolgirl. As you can understand, that has made residents absolutely furious. Anyway, I'm Chloe Dobbs. That is the latest on what is going on in Epping. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we will keep you updated with any new big developments.